Alright, Poke Pals, today we are ranking the Sword and Shield sets from 12 to 1.
That's right.
So we got a couple modern sets here just to kind of show off.
Well, this is a jungle pack.
Which one do you want the jungle pack?
We're going to give it away at 500 subscribers.
So make sure you subscribe.
Could be one of you.
We wanted to talk about a little bit about how we graded these. We kind of did some categories.
Yeah.
So we did off of the commons and uncommons artwork.
Yeah, just the commons and uncommons, what we thought about the specific arts in that set.
Yep. The hits, like
How good the hit is.
How good the hit card is, like the chase cards in the set, how good are they? Also the number of hits, so how many of those chase cards, how many of those cards in the set that you really want.
Almost like a more of a probability thing, like you might pull more in this set, you know?
Absolutely. And then we have kind of enjoyment of the set, kind of personal taste of the set.
How we felt opening it.
Yeah, and then the last one is like
the investability.
Investability over time.
What we think, at least.
Yeah, what we think. So these obviously we're going to have some subjectivity with what we like.
How we pulled.
Yeah, so let us know what your list is at the comments down below, how you rank them. But let's start at the bottom, which is Battle Styles.
Battle Styles. Alright, for me, when I look at my list here, I see, for the artwork, didn't enjoy it that much. For me personally,
commons and uncommons, not your thing.
It wasn't for me. I don't like it. It was very, like, kind of digitized, I feel like. There's a couple sets that are right around the Battle Styles era. I'll get more into that later. I don't want to kind of spoil it, but the regular artworks weren't really for me, personally.
Okay. Yeah.
I felt like the hit card, I didn't rank it that high.
Yeah, I think Battle Styles does have a couple of really good hits. You've got that T-Tar at lunch.
T-Tar is sick.
It's a great card.
It's an awesome hit.
You've got the Empoleon alt art, which I think is underrated.
I agree.
I think it's a good card.
I didn't even know it was in the set for a long time. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah, and you also have the Gold Houndoom. So there's some cool cards in there, but overall, I think the set as a whole kind of falls flat just because there's not a lot of hit cards. And the hit cards that they do have are great, the artwork's not great, and I don't think it's really going to be super investable in the future, personally.
Yeah, like you were saying, there's those three, and those three are sweet, but then that's pretty much it. You know, you got a couple of trainers sprinkled in there that are cool, but nothing in the reverse spot to kind of bring it up, and the pull rates didn't seem that great for me.
Yeah,
personally.
So the next spot up at number 11, we have Darkness Ablaze.
It's kind of surprising, because when I think of Sword and Shield, I'm like, oh, Darkness Ablaze is a really cool set, you know? I really enjoy it. They got a cool Charizard chase card. I think because of the Charizard, in my opinion, it's a little bit more investable than some of the other sets.
Yeah.
But other than that, Darkness Ablaze, regular artworks, didn't really enjoy. Number of hits, really low.
Yeah, I feel like in this set, it's kind of like that Burning Shadows feel where it's the Charizard or nothing.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think it will be a little more investable than some of the sets coming up here, and even the Battle Styles behind, because it has the Charizard. But I don't super enjoy this set. I mean, the artwork's kind of middle ground in Sword and Shield for me, and I think just overall, it kind of falls, again, flat.
Yeah, it kind of falls flat. There's some cool cards, don't get me wrong. There's a cool Rainbow Rare Salamence that's in there. You know, there's some cool stuff, but I just don't think it meets the level.
Yeah, because like Sword and Shield, the sets are, I think, phenomenal.
Yeah, they're top tier. They're good.
The next spot, we got number 10, Sword and Shield Base. So with Sword and Shield Base, I've always thought of it as kind of a lower tier set. It does fall kind of a little bit lower in these rankings, but...
Did you say it surprised you?
It surprised me that it was above a couple of the sets, because I thought before we did this it'd be bottom. And it does have that gold Zamazenta, Zacian cards.
Those are sweet.
Those are cool cards.
I got one of them.
The regular artwork, I think, is just kind of average again in this...
yeah, I put it at a 3.
range. Yeah, it's a little better than like the Battle Styles.
So we did 1 to 5.
Yeah, 1 to 5. And then just investability, because it is, like you were saying, because it is the base set of Sword and Shield, because it has a little more investability, I feel like, than some of the other sets.
You've just seen that in the past. Anything with a base set is usually does pretty well in the future.
Does decently well.
It's like, oh, this is the beginning of this era. You know, so a lot of investors and collectors are like, I want the original. You know?
Yeah.
It's got the Marnie, which the Marnie is, everybody remember, I love Marnie. But like, a lot of people do, you know, it just kind of hits home with like what Sword and Shield is kind of known for as far as like the trainers. She kind of hit that nerve, you know.
Absolutely.
A lot of people liked it. I will say, that not very many hits, but there's surprisingly more than you think at the same time, because I think this is the set with, correct me if I'm not mistaken, but the Rainbow Rare Lapras.
I do believe it has Lapras.
Yeah, which is, I like Lapras as a mon, you know, so like, it's got like the music notes coming around it, which I really like. I'm a music guy, so. They also have the Gigantamax Rainbow Rare Snorlax.
Yeah.
So there's some cool cards in there, some fan favorites, but like I said, no alternate art, so it kind of takes it down a peg.
Sure. Let's go to the next spot at number 9.
The biggest surprise.
The biggest surprise, we've got Rebel Clash.
Yeah, I know a lot of you guys hate this set. A lot of people do.
It's not a popular set.
I've actually always kind of been an advocate for it. I mean, not originally, but like there was a time where I was like, dude, I was like talking your ear off. I was like, we should get Rebel Clash. And for me, the main reason was the full art Ninetales. I really like Ninetales, and I got some cool ones in my collection, and I want to add this to it eventually.
Yeah, I also saw that they've got a cool gold Berserker in the set.
The shiny one?
Yeah, which I think is really cool. They've got a lot of colorful full art cards, like you were saying, like the Ninetales, but also like the Dragapult. And I think that the card art...
The big thing about this set that surprised us.
The commons, the uncommons, I didn't really look into it that much. The card art's really fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good set as far as artwork.
I think in Sword and Shield, it's probably the second best set.
A close second.
A close second in just the artwork with the commons and uncommons.
If you want to open a set and enjoy every card that you're pulling and be like, oh wait, this is like cool, whatever, you know, like this random dude, like I want to put this in my collection. You might not be that collector, but for us, we're kind of more about like what we get out of the cards and what we enjoy.
It,
yeah, it's not all about the money all the time, you know.
For sure. I don't think the set is going to be hugely investable in the future.
Yeah, I put it pretty low for investing.
Just because it's not a hugely popular set.
The hits
aren't great, but I do feel like if you just want to enjoy opening up the cards and see stuff that, see artwork that is a little different to most of the Sword and Shield era, this is the set.
And I feel like it's also not super 3D, so it's like it kind of gets away from that, which some people like that, but it's not really my favorite type of art.
Yep. Let's go to number 8. We've got Vivid Voltage. So Vivid Voltage obviously has that big chase card.
The Chunkachu.
The Chunkachu.
I rated it pretty high as far as the hit.
Yeah, it's got some really good trainer cards like the Nessa, the Leon, the Bay. Like it's got some good trainer cards. I do think that the set is fairly investable because it has the Pikachu.
Yeah, anything that's got a Pikachu in a rare spot is going to be investable.
But for me personally, I think the artwork, the commons, the uncommons, the overall total amount of like big hits for me is just a little bit lower. But this is one of the sets that has something different for reverses though, right?
Yeah, so what I was going to say is I actually this is one spot we kind of disagreed on as far as like how we viewed the set. I think it's a really good set. I really enjoyed opening it. It's got the secret rare spot where you get the Rayquaza, and it was kind of before the trainer arts. It was kind of like, it's the only
trainer arts before the trainer arts.
Yeah, well, they're not even trainers. They're just like secret rare Pokemon. You get the Kyogre, you get the Rayquaza, you get the Jirachi, you know, the Celebi, all those guys, and it like had some cool like rainbow look to it. It's the only set in Sword and Shield that has that, and for that reason, I was like, that's really cool. Artwork, I kind of just put in the middle of the ground. It wasn't anything like tremendous. I know you didn't really like it too much, but has that big hit. The thing where I rated it low that brought it down was the number of hits that I thought were in the set. But enjoyment, I had pretty high because, you know, like sometimes you open up other sets, like we'll talk about later, and there's nothing in the reverse spot, and you're just feeling bad if you're not pulling anything.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great. This I think does have
a little more forgiving.
Yeah, it feels a little more forgiving for sure. All right, number 7, we've got Fusion Strike. So. This set is actually tied with the next one, but we're going to put this one here at number 7. Fusion Strike's got a couple big, popular cards.
Yeah, it's got some awesome big hitters, dude.
You've got the Celebi.
Espeon.
You've got the Mew. The Gengar. Like, you've got a few really big hit cards. I think right now the cards are fairly low in value. Well, I guess the Espeon and the Gengar are higher,
those two are pretty
but the
high.
Celebi and
it's like
the Mew,
$15, the Celebi.
they're pretty inexpensive.
Go out and get it right now.
But the artwork is fantastic on those rare cards, and they're popular Pokemon. So I think in the future people are gonna look back and go, "Oh, those cards are sweet." and so the investability I think is a little bit higher than some of the other sets we've looked at so far.
For another reason too, because it is really cheap right now.
Yeah.
The set is like what I think we can get at our store for like $90.
Yeah, about $85, $90.
Because people are tired of opening this right now. Yeah. So in my personal opinion, I think this is a good time to pick up this set, hold on to it, and maybe it doesn't do anything, but you got it for $90.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't really beat a booster box at that price.
It's gonna go up from 90 from here. It's a good product, and for me, the way I rated it, I kind of rated it pretty even all across the board. Nothing spectacular until the hits. I thought the hits were really good, but I think that's kind of what kept it kind of like in the middle of our tier list. Was like the only thing that wowed me was the hits, and that was it. Everything else was just kind of
mid-tier.
Mid-tier, like it's cool, but it's not my favorite. Nothing's like blowing my mind. But I do love that Gengar. I do love that Espeon.
And you might be able to pull a Gold Flaffy.
Yeah, that's a sweet card, too.
So we talked about we had a tie. So that 6th spot, we're going Lost Origin. Now, Lost Origin, we didn't have the greatest luck with the set.
Yeah, actually, I didn't rate this one super good, but I did rate it. Like, there were some things that I rated pretty good. Like, the hits are awesome. Giratina, spectacular card.
One of the, it's so different than anything else you're going to find in Sword and Shield.
It's unique.
It just, any alternate art you look at, it's unique. It's different. It also has that sick Aerodactyl.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal artwork. I think the Berserker and the Rotom are good. They're not at the same level, but they're nice alternate arts. Yeah, they're nice additions. As we this is one of the first sets on our list that has the trainer gallery. And I think that also helps these sets that we're going up from here that have that. It makes it so much more enjoyable to open a set and be pulling some of those cards that you can look at the artwork and like, wow, I really like this. And it doesn't feel terrible if you're not pulling the hit cards.
Yeah, the big hits. Like you're still pulling something, and it doesn't feel half as bad. I feel like for this set, for me, I'm kind of like salty about it because I never pulled the alt art. I'm just like, Lost Origins, I'll get you one of these days. And maybe one day I will pull that one of those cards. I want to beep in there. But like as far as like the enjoyment when I first opened, I had to think about like when I opened this set, how did I feel opening it? And I actually felt it was really good. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting to pull an alt art like my first box. Maybe my third one, but not my first one. So when I opened it, I was like, man, this set is fun to open. That reverse spot's good.
Yeah, it was a good time opening it, and like I said, I think because it has the Giratina, because it has the Aerodactyl, it will in the future still be a sought after set that people would like to open, but it does kind of trail behind these other sets coming up. We got.
Yeah, I agree.
So at number 5, we got Chilling Reign. All right, talk about Chilling Reign.
Chilling Reign, I've been talking about it forever, guys. I am a huge advocate for this set. I know that like it's one of those sets that doesn't have anything in the reverse, so that's what makes it feel bad. And when it feels bad, it feels really bad.
Really bad.
But if you look at the number of hits in this set, there's so many hits.
You got the birds.
You got all the birds. You got the Blaziken. You got
that card.
the Rapidash.
I got
you
that
got
card.
The Gold Snorlax. I got that card. But there's a ton. There's Zeraora.
Yeah.
There's just like a ton of different artworks that are so cool, alternate arts, that I think people are kind of like, oh, it's okay, because it can be bad, it can be harsh, but when you're pulling good, you feel great.
I also think it has an underrated trainer gallery. I think some of the trainer gallery some of the trainers in that set are underrated.
It's got like Melanie and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. You got a lot of the gym leaders, and like I just think it's got a nice assortment of trainers you can pull.
Yeah.
But you're right. In this is like besides one of the sets we got towards the top of the list. This is like one of the sets where you find a lot of alternate arts, and it's one of the few sets that you can find a lot of alternate arts. And so I think it has some investability. I think it has some great hit cards. It's just like he was saying, just a little rough when you're not pulling well.
And I think it does determine on what Pokemon does in the future to see how this set performs in the future. If they stop with alternate arts, this set I think will go up. And that's just my prediction. I'm not an advisor, no advice, but that's just what I think. I think if they stop doing that, people will be like, I want a set that has a bunch of alt arts. This is one of those sets.
All right, number 4 we got Astral Radiance. So when I think of Astral Radiance, obviously you got the Machamp and the Palkia.
Yeah.
Those cards, I think the Palkia is a one-of-a-kind card as well.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a Salvador Dali painting, I think.
Reminds me of like Alice in Wonderland or something. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of got that like kind of in between those.
It's another unique card.
Another unique card. But this set also has a nice trainer gallery.
A great trainer gallery.
And so that it just feels better opening a set like this. I do think that also, I mean, it has some kind of lower mid-tier alt arts with, you got the Lilligant and the Beedrill, which are really beautiful cards, just not top tier Pokemon.
Yeah, they're not like high tier Pokemon. I actually really, me personally, like maybe I'm biased because I pulled it, but I've always been a bug guy. I like Butterfree, I like Scyther, I like Beedrill. So when they released this Beedrill card, I was in love. So I'm a little bit biased towards this set. I think that kind of had
it's a beautiful card.
On me.
It's a beautiful card, and I do think that, like I said, with some of the sets that don't have the trainer gallery, it can feel rough if you're not pulling the best cards. This is one of those ones you're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And I do think it is investable. Maybe not quite as much as some of the other ones, but still pretty investable.
Yeah, still be good, and you're gonna have fun opening it.
Yeah.
You are.
Number 3, Brilliant Stars.
I feel like that might surprise a lot of people because I know a lot of people rate this number 1. And they are totally entitled to that opinion because I think it's top 3 for us.
It's a fantastic set.
It's an awesome set. We got the Charizard, we got Arceus, we got awesome trainer gallery. So I think this set is pretty heavily investable. The problem is it jumped up pretty quick in price.
Yeah.
But still, it's gonna go up even more. I mean, hopefully they reprint it so we can get it to come down a little bit, and then we can purchase a little bit of it, and then really get some investments there. But yeah, it's a solid set. Awesome alternate art Charizard and Rainbow Rare.
Absolutely. So I think because this set has the Charizard, it is a hugely investable set. But like you were saying, the price jumped pretty quick. So you're not gonna be able to get this around $100. You're going to be paying a little bit more. You're going to be paying closer to the $150, $200 in that range. So I do think you're going to have to buy it off a little bit more at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's one of those sets that it probably will end up being the second most expensive set from this time frame.
I think it also has an alternate trainer art gallery of Umbreon.
Yeah.
I think it's this one. Which is a sweet card. There's some really good trainer galleries in these sets, and that's what bumped these up. The thing about this set that kind of kept it low for me is the other alternate arts are Luminion and Honchkrow.
Yeah.
Which are cool, but they're not blowing my mind.
It does have the gold birds, which is really cool also.
Yeah, that is really cool. I forgot about that.
And so I do think that if you're looking for, again, another fun set to open that has great artwork, I think even the commons and uncommons are decent. It's kind of a middling set for the uncommons and commons, but it's still better than.
Yeah, I put it on average, a little bit above average.
It's still better than some of the other ones I think in this time frame.
Yeah.
So for that reason, we've got number 3. At number 2, we've got the shocker.
Evolving Skies.
Skies.
Another surprise, guys. And I rated this pretty highly when I look at my scores. The one thing that really brought this set down for me, and I mentioned this earlier in the video, 3 sets that were kind of consecutive, and that was Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, and Evolving Skies. The artworks for me, the commons and uncommons, were not good.
I think this set has probably the worst commons and uncommons.
I rated it a 1.
And we may be looking through, glasses
skewed
because
eyes.
skewed eyes because we've opened a lot of the set. But I do feel like the commons and uncommons are pretty poor.
Yeah, they're bad. They're just bad, in my opinion. You guys are free to express however you want to in the comments, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about it.
The other thing for me personally, which I know he doesn't have quite as much, is this set hurts so much to open up and not pull something. Not pull an alternate art. You open the set, and even if you pull, a trainer or you pull something, it still feels really bad.
Yeah.
It feels really bad. So I enjoy the set a lot when you pull something, but when you're not pulling something, I don't love opening this set.
Having said that, on the other hand, how many pulls there are and how good the pulls are when you do hit them, shoot this set up. So I gave this set a 5 in the hits, a 5 in the number of hits, and a 5 in the investability. So I maxed it out as far as those 3 sets. The things that brought it down was the enjoyment, and for me, the beginning of this set, I still wrote enjoyment mid to high, but the reason I did that was because I pulled super well when I first opened this set. I pulled Umbreon like pretty quick, and I pulled Glaceon pretty quick. 2 Rayquazas, 2 Noivern, like the Golart. I pulled really well. Some Cresselia. I pulled like almost.
He's got like almost the whole set.
Almost the whole set. I ended up having to buy like a few evolutions that I wanted just because when they did the reprint, it hit me hard. That's when I felt bad about this set. So when I first started, I'm kind of like mixed with this set. When I first came out, I pulled super well, and then I didn't pull it super great. But what brought it down for me? Regular artworks.
Yeah, I do think that if you're looking for if you already have this set is a great investment. This set is if it doesn't get a reprint, it's gonna go up.
It's already going up?
It's already going up. I think it may get one more reprint, we'll see. But it's a set that's just jumped fast, and I think that people are gonna continue to want to have this set. So if you have the set, it's a great investment. I think because you've got the evolutions, because you've got the dragons, you've got Dragonite, you know, you've got some really popular, Rayquaza. You've got really popular Pokemon. You've got a lot of them, and there's some great artwork. And so I do think it's a great set. I do think that if we maybe didn't do all the categories how we did, it may have ended up #1 set.
Yeah.
But because the regular artwork, because the enjoyment of the set, I do think that it ends up being #2.
Yeah, because remember when we did the artworks, we're just doing commons and uncommons.
Yeah.
Because obviously the artworks in the rare spot, that's like your
Can't be
hit cards
beaten.
for us. That's what we classified it as. And honestly, I feel like if this set had a reverse trainer spot, it might be the best set of all time. A competitor for the best set.
I do think if it had a little better common and uncommon art, and it had the trainer,
that's true.
Then I do think it would be definitely up there with, you know, EX era.
Time period, yeah. Base set, stuff like that.
But saying that, we have #1, Silver Tempest. So let's talk about
why
one big reason I think for me personally, the artwork, the commons, the uncommons in this set go back to when you're opening up the X time frame.
Yeah.
The artwork is fantastic.
It's super good.
It's so good. I know that like you may be opening it up now and you may be seeing quite a bit of it, but just take a time to look at some of those. Those are some of the best artwork in years.
Wow, yeah, it looks good. At least use Sword and Shield and I mean XY. Going back, like it's a good common and uncommon set. Like we were opening it, we were just having so much fun just looking at the regular cards.
This is, I think, Rebel Clash is good, but this is
even better.
This artwork in the commons and uncommons is just really good. I do think this set is obviously more investable than like some of these sets because it does have the Lugia.
Yeah, Lugia. The problem is there's only 4 alt arts. But you do have like a Ho-Oh, which is like a full art. You got the reverse trainer gallery, which is really good. You got a Rayquaza in there. You got some other cool stuff. And you got the gold Lugia. You got some really cool hit cards in here.
You do, and I think you're also going to have fun opening this set.
Yeah. Because
you do have that trainer gallery. I do think that it helps just even having those good common and uncommon cards. It helps when you open a set to have those cards. It just feels you're enjoying just the regular cards, and I think that really helps this set as well.
It gives you a chance to slow roll your set as you're pulling it out, and you're like, oh, that card's really cool. Like I like this, you know, and kind of put some more stuff in your binder that you anticipated.
Absolutely. Now, again, if we maybe have opened up more of Silver Tempest, it may change our ratings a little bit.
Yeah,
in this
especially
set.
for the enjoyment spot, because I rated the enjoyment pretty high.
Yeah.
And I've only opened like a tiny bit.
Yeah, so I you know, that part may drop a little bit, and it may just end up being, you know, in
number
that,
2, number 3,
number 3. But it is towards the top of these sets, because, like you said, you've got some good hit cards, even though they're not all the art cards. Mm-hmm. But the all art cards are good.
Yeah, you got a Lugia.
Unknown, Lugia, Regidrago. Those artworks look fantastic.
Yeah, the Unknown looks so good.
And so even though it doesn't have the massive hits as some of the other sets, like you got Evolving Skies, Chilling Reign, those sets just jump out at even the Charizard and the Brilliant Stars.
Yep.
This set does have good hits, but just a really great time opening this set.
Yeah, it's like, the thing is, like you were saying, like, you're gonna pull, if you pull alt art, great, you're pulling alt art. If you're pulling something in the reverse spot, awesome, you're pulling like something really cool in the reverse spot. And then also, you're getting the bang for your buck because you're opening up every pack and it's enjoyable. So I think that's kind of what put it ahead. It had like a little bit of everything, and then the artwork just put it over the top.
Yeah, and because this set is kind of priced at where it is, if you're looking for a set to invest in that you want towards the future, because Evolving Skies is higher, because of Brilliant Stars is higher, this is one of the best sets that you can get at a cheap price and keep for a great investment too.
And I think that's what kind of pushed it ahead of those other couple sets too, is because you can get it. It moved it up on the investability too. So good enjoyment and good investability. Number of hits, good, because you got all those spots. Artwork, great. Hit cards, because that Lugia, it brings it up.
Absolutely. So guys, this is our list. Give us your list down in the comments. Let us know why we're bozos, and
or if you think we're geniuses, eggheads.
I got a giant head right now.
Oh, probably bozos though.
Also, make sure you guys remember, hit that subscribe button. At 500, we're giving this Jungle Pack away. And we'll see you guys on the next one.